Hey there, friends. Welcome to another edition of the Night Sky this week for October 14th, 2024. I'm your host, Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy. Thanks so much for watching. It's great to be back. I was off for a last month or so, working on a lot of different interesting stuff that I'll be putting out over the course of the next few months, developing new things, new exciting things to bring to you, having lots of fun with the night sky. And I hope you can join me on this journey. But we're back every Monday here on my page, whether you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitch, wherever you're watching this from. I hope you're having a great day and you get to do some stargazing. Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear it, what you're up to. If you've seen anything interesting in the sky, I know what I've been aiming for is this new comet, the Comet A3 that everyone's buzzing about. And, as luck would have it, I have cloudy skies here in Montreal, where I'm located, Montreal, Canada. Totally cloudy. Unfortunately, ugh, you can't see it. And I'm like really itching to see this comet because I'm seeing fantastic photos. In fact, let me share with you on spaceweather.com, one of my favorite go-to websites for up-to-date space weather stuff, including some nice space photos that people are submitting. Here's a really nice one that's coming in of this comet A3. As it's crossing the orbital plane, you get to see even an anti-tail there forming. So it's a really interesting features coming on this comet. Very low in the horizon. It's just now starting midweek October, as it was planned, to get better views. And you can see reports here. These are photos, right? So they're going to be better than what you can see with the naked eye. But even with the naked eye, it's visible. It's reports of the tail is also hints of the tail are visible to the naked eye, but you need a good view towards the horizon. That's very, very, very important that you need that clear view, no trees, buildings, or anything like that in the way. It will be climbing higher in the western sky over the next few days, so you should stay tuned. I'll be posting sky charts of this. And talking about sky charts, here, take a look what we can see. Thanks for the comment, Bridget. Missed you too. Thanks for coming on board. Here we are. Let me see if I can bring in my planetarium software. There we go. And what we're seeing here is what the sky looks like for Monday, October 14th, soon after sunset, looking towards the west. Best time to see the comet is about 40 minutes after sunset, your local sunset. So if I bring this is set for um, Montreal, Canada. So if I just go towards the sunset, I'm going minute by minute backwards in time. There's the sun. You can see it right there. I'm at 45-degree latitude north of the equator. So you can see as the sun sets just below the horizon, there's little Mercury kind of in the glare of the sunset, and the planet Mercury closest planet to the sun, and there's that comet. Obviously, this is an exaggerated artistic illustration of the comet that the planetarium program is producing. It's not showing the realistic view necessarily. Maybe perhaps I would think more akin to what the photographs would show, but definitely not what the naked eye. But what's really particular interesting, we're going to go 40 minutes after that. So you see around 6:18 sunset here for me in Montreal. And if I go, say, add another 40 minutes to, say, around 7 o'clock at night, where it gets dark enough. You see how it's getting dark? We're already at past 6:30. The sun sets at 6:18, right? So we're just going, trying to get to like 7 o'clock. That would be about when we think it would be dark enough around like that. So there you go. There's the comet. Now, what's interesting is if you look at to the left of the comet, ignore all these other stuff. These are all like deep sky objects that are just marked on the map. But there's Venus. Venus is a very, very bright planet. It looks like a star, and it actually is like the brightest star-like object in the entire sky. You can't miss it. It's very low in the southwest. Again, you need that clear view towards the southwestern skies to really see this clearly. So look for that bright. This is a guidepost for finding the comet, folks. So it's you'll see here that planet low in the horizon, right? And then off to the upper right of it, again, low in the horizon, in almost due west, is another bright star-like object. This is called Arcturus. And Arcturus and Venus, if you draw a line, an imaginary line between these two guys, you would be able to see where the comet is. Now, the comet disappeared from my view because I hit on another object. Let me just put it back. There we go. I'll center it. There we are. So this is on Monday, October 14th, where the comet is located. Look how convenient. It's pretty much in the middle between Venus and Arcturus over here, Arcturus and Venus. So these two bright star-like objects, easily visible to the naked eye, are what you should be using as your guidepost for finding, locating the comet, Comet A3, tonight. And I'd love for you to try it. If you've got clear skies, I know I probably don't here in Montreal. I wish I did because I'd be showing you these views. I was waiting for this week to do that. And hopefully I will later this week. But if you do have clear skies, no matter where you are, and you're listening to me today, I would love for you to go out. This is your great opportunity to track down the comet because sometimes it's tricky. If you're new to sky watching, you don't have equipment, you're not navigating the night sky normally, on average, then this may be a tricky thing, but you can see it. It's been kind of overhyped, I would say, in the last while. All those beautiful photographs you've been seeing maybe on your feed on Facebook or on YouTube videos or wherever, even on news sites the last couple of weeks, they've been taken by those that are seasoned astronomy buffs, those that have the right cameras, those that are in the right place. A lot of them are going up on top of, high mountains. They're traveling. I have friends who have traveled to remote regions, like on top of volcanoes, practically looking at this comet and producing absolutely wondrous photographs. But it's a little bit misleading, I think, because most of us will have not been able to see it yet. Okay. The average person would have had a hard time seeing it and with their smartphone, maybe taking a few photographs. But now we're reaching a point where here, especially in the northern hemisphere, the comet has rounded the sun and is traveling away from the sun. And as it does that, it's positioning itself far enough away in our sky, as you can see in this particular illustration, that it's traveling. And you'll see as I go from date to date further in this week, it's moving higher up in the sky. And I'll show that to you right now. So this is the view tonight, about 7 o'clock local time. I would wait about a half hour at least before you go outside and try to find the comet in the sky. Take your binoculars. Binoculars are going to be like fantastic to see. I don't have one right here, but binoculars are amazing to view. You'll see more detail of the tail. It might be much more exciting, I think, with binoculars. That's what my astronomy friends have been telling me who have had clear skies in the last couple of days. It's been much better, the views. So um, take heed, bring those binoculars, find a viewing site that has a clear view, right here, clear view towards the western horizon where the sunset. Position yourself there. Look for Venus and then Arcturus and draw an imaginary line between these two star-like objects, and that's where you'll be searching for the comet. And look, by the way, what's really interesting, for those of you that may be more advanced or like observing challenges, there's M5. You see that M5? That's actually a globular cluster. It's a deep sky object, tens of thousands of light years away, within the field of view of the comet. So as the skies darken, maybe you wait, another, you know, a half hour or so. Here you can see the stars start coming out as the skies darken, and you may have a chance to see something like that. I mean, I think that's really, really cool. There's M5. Let me just click on it for you. M5. This is a globular. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's 24,000 light years away. It's magnitude 5.6, so it's not quite visible with the naked eye, even from dark skies. But with binoculars, a cinch to see, but you got to wait until the skies get darker. And what's really cool, again, is that it'll be positioned near the comet. Let me just bring the comet in again. I'm using Sky Safari Pro, my favorite go-to planetarium program. And there we go. You can see the two together. If I zoom in on it like that, you can see it's going to be really easy to spot with binoculars, the comet, I think, and specifically the details. Now, with the naked eye, you'll see the coma and a hint of a tail as well popping up, flying away. Remember, now comets are not like meteors. They don't streak across the sky in a few seconds. They slowly creep across the sky over many days and weeks. So here we go. If we look at this, let's say tomorrow, the 15th of October, look at that. Look, remember we were talking about M5, the globular cluster? Look at that. The pair together is going to be impressive. Look at that. This is the view through binoculars. Okay, give you an idea. There's M5, the globular cluster, and there's the comet head. Really cool together. Again, that's Tuesday, October 15th. A very neat photo op for those of you that are prepared to do that through a telescope, perhaps, um, or a nice, a very good zoom lens on your camera. That's something that you could aim for. So that's the 15th. If we go to the 16th, you can see the comet is starting to move away from that globular cluster, moving higher in the sky. The 16th, the 17th, okay, that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, moving up into Ophiuchus constellation right there. And kind of in line, look at that, with two other globular clusters, M10 and M12, two other really nice globular in line with this comet. Just an interesting kind of coincidence how the comet is moving through the sky, pairing up with different celestial objects. So definitely, I'd say this is a very unique opportunity. You should take advantage of this. The comet will probably start fading away in a few days. So really right now, this week probably represents the best time to see the comet at its brightest, and it will start fading away at one point. We don't know exactly when, but as it's moving away from the sun, it will fade away. And you can see here, if we look at the orbital view of the comet, there is in relation to the solar system. Let me just widen the view if I can. Let's see if I can show that there. There's the comet, there's the sun, and you can see how the comet is in relation. Right there is the comet. And there are the planets, planet Venus. There is Earth's, where is Earth? Earth is just off the screen, actually. Let me see if I can get that zoom out. Let me zoom out there. And whoa, I think I lost where. Let me try that again. Boop. I'll go back to the sky view here. There we go. We're back there. So there's the comet. This is Saturday, the 19th. The comet is getting higher. Let me just move back in time a little bit, back to 7 o'clock. That's a good reference point to watch this comet from after sunset. It should get dark. Again, the trick is you have to find that window of opportunity where the skies are dark towards the west to see this comet. Now, besides the comet, what else is there to see that's really, really cool? Definitely, this time, the autumn period of time, there's particular things in the sky that are really, really beautiful. Deep sky objects, as you can see marked, the constellation Pegasus with the Andromeda constellation and Andromeda galaxy up there. We still have some beautiful views of even the summertime stuff, as you can see high above. almost near overhead for those of us in mid-northern latitudes is Cygnus the Swan, as you can see here, and with the Milky Way galaxy, the arm of the Milky Way stretching right through the this beautiful constellation. Again, it's interesting because we consider this a summertime constellation, Cygnus the Swan, or the Northern Cross, but yet it's still visible in our skies. You can see it's marked zenith here, so early evening, it's almost straight overhead from the vast number of population around the world. And if you wait, this is what's so cool. Let me just zoom out here, and it gets dark enough, you get to see some really interesting things like, let me see if I move this 1 hour into, or like past 8 o'clock. Look at that. There's even a planet Saturn is on display in the southeast. So if you've never seen Saturn, great views of Saturn as well. The tilt of the rings are very, very slight now. So it's an unusual looking Saturn than what we're used to, because the rings are usually tilted much more evident. Now it's, very slight tilt. So it's an interesting kind of view. And of course, you see the moons of Saturn through a telescope. And this is where you need a small telescope. Binoculars are just not enough to see the detail in Saturn. Now, you can see the planet itself burning in a yellowish tint in the southeast skies in the early evening. So that's really fun to see as well. And then, of course, look at that. We've got our If we move to Thursday, you can see that the full moon is right there. It's a super moon, meaning that it's larger than the average moon. We're kind of in the middle of four super moons that have started a couple of months ago, and meaning basically a perigee moon, technically, for astronomers. That's what they like to call it, meaning this is the point in its orbit around our planet when the moon is actually as close as it can get. So you get to see the full moon rising soon after sunset on Thursday night. Just a gorgeous sight. Obviously, will it interfere with the views of the comet? Perhaps slightly. It will, but the moon will be on the opposite side, behind you, from the perspective of viewing the comet. Right, the comet is in the western sky, way on the other side. Right here is where the comet will be visible, and you will see the moon in back of you rising in the east, so exactly behind you. But the moon is fantastic. It's going to be particularly beautiful looking at it rising in the east soon after the sun sets. So look towards the east, find a spot with a great view towards the east on Thursday, and you'll have an absolutely fantastic view of the full moon rise, the super full moon of October rising. So expect something like 10-15% brighter than usual, about 7-8% larger. That won't be, the size won't be as evident in its difference from a normal full moon, but its brightness may be more evident to you. You might notice that it's unusually bright, and there's a reason for that. That's because the moon is closer than average to our planet on Thursday. So check that out. That's going to be really nice. And on the weekend, if that's not enough, we've got a meteor shower actually happening. So let me see if I can get that. Um, Meteor shower. Let's see. There we go. The Orionids are going to be peaking. And this is a neat shower that, if you look, let's see if I can get this going here. Peak date, it's on the 21st. So we're going to center it and we'll be able to see it. So this one, wait until late at night. So here I'm going to change this from 8 o'clock, and I'm going to change this to, if I can make this work, to 9, 10. And look at this. Look at the name. It's Orionids. So where do you think they come from? Appear to radiate out from? You guessed it, Orion, the constellation, the mythical hunter. And that rises in the late evening, near midnight, and that's when it gets really good to see when the radiant, the center where the meteors appear to radiate out from, rises above your local horizon. That's usually the best time to see a meteor shower. Now, don't expect it's not like the Geminids or Perseids, which are on a whole order of magnitude more meteors. We're talking a modest 10, 20 shooting stars per hour. Again, this is going to be not on Friday, like it says here. Hold on. This is going to be on Sunday into Monday next week, right? So this Sunday, October 20th, into Monday morning, the 21st. Check it out. You can start watching for Orion. It's probably on Saturday night too, but really the peak is Sunday. And you're looking towards the east. Look for our favorite constellation, Orion, with its belt of three stars. They actually make a big difference. Let me just take off the deep sky objects here, show objects, and look much more. There we go. And you can see the three stars right there. There's Betelgeuse, the very bright orange star that marks the shoulder of Orion. And just off the hand, where his upraised arm is where the radiant of the shower is. It doesn't really matter. Don't worry about it being exact. You can look anywhere in the sky, really. But just technically, this is where, if you trace the individual meteors, they seem to come from this one part of the sky. It's a really, really neat little thing to think about. And look, right near the radiant is going to be a yellowish star, which is called Pollux, and next to it will be an orange colored star, which is not a star. It is the planet Mars, guys. You get to see planet Mars as well, a bonus. And of course, the brightest star in the entire sky, Sirius, also rising a little bit later after Orion. So you might want to wait until midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning, Sunday night, to really get the best views of Orionids. But hey, don't worry. If you have to get up early in the morning on Monday, no problem. Go out a little bit earlier. Go out 9, 10, or 11 o'clock. Make sure you're warm and comfortable, very important, because it might be freezing where you are or close to, like where I am here in Montreal, and you want to make sure that you stay comfortable and maybe get a reclining lawn chair to watch the show. But even if you're out for 10, 15 minutes, you probably will see a handful of meteors if you have dark enough skies without too much light pollution. So that's it for this week, guys. Comet is the number one thing. I highly, highly recommend looking at the comet, because that is going to be something super cool. If you're interested in finding out more about the night sky, I invite you to check out my book, Backyard Guide to Night Sky. It's a bestseller, available in all fine bookstores, including Amazon online. And I'm also selling these. I've got them back in stock. I am selling signed, personally dedicated copies of my book. Makes a great gift for the holidays. So come on in and over to my website, thenightskyguy.com, and click on the book link, and you can get your own edition. It's for international shipping anywhere around the world. Also available are signed editions of the Stargazer's Atlas. This is a big, giant book about 6.5 pounds. Also selling those in um, personally dedicated copies. Great for the holidays too. And don't forget, sign up on my stargazing newsletter. I'm coming out this week with an edition on the comet. So some sky charts and all resources that I kind of gathered on the internet and produced here in my own studio on how to see the comet. So you won't be left out on that for sure. So a lot of fun stuff. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. It's really been a pleasure. Great to be back. I love to see the comments from everyone. I'll make sure I post sky charts for the things that we talked about here on the live stream here on Monday, October 14th. Good stuff coming up. I'm hoping for clear skies. And I didn't even talk about the auroras and northern lights. We'll have to talk about that. Plenty of time for that. There's lots of goodies happening in terms of northern lights too. Easy to see. Don't worry about it. And just stay tuned to my feeds on Facebook and YouTube, Twitch and Twitter, or X or whatever. And you won't be left out on what are some of the fun shows and what you can really see with your own eyes, not what you hear on the internet and all these advanced beautiful stuff that's coming out that you have probably no hope of seeing. Stay tuned to my channel. I'll keep it real for you guys. Stay safe and healthy. And until the next video, clear skies.